everybody. My name is Casey Williams, and welcome back to another episode of 21st Century Youth. We've had quite a few episodes now, and today with us, we've got the lovely Jade Koopman. Welcome, Jade. Thank you very much for coming here today. Jade is going to be speaking to us just a little bit about her background and what it is to be a young woman, young girl, young teenage girl in the 21st century. To you, Jade.
So what do you want to know?
Everything from little Jade to... Let's start with how old you are.
Okay, so I am currently 16, turning 17 by June.
Okay.
I live with my mother, my two sisters, and my stepfather.
Okay.
And I am still now and then in touch with my real father, my biological father. I school at a private school. Which is not really difficult, but you know, it's little children. It's not like the normal public schools.
You've got a lot of children.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that.
And it's like one class, just grade 11, you know.
Okay.
No ABCs.
Okay. Is that how it is for you?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sponsored, meaning that my sponsorship covers all my school fees.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so coming back to the beginning of when you introduced yourself, you mentioned that you live with a stepdad.
Yes, I do.
Is that a bit of a touchy subject, or can we go to that?
We can go to that, no problem.
So what I want to know by you is, how does it feel having a step-parent in the house?
It feels weird because you don't know your father. Not like know your father, but the thought of having your mother and father split up is very difficult as growing up. Because you have to be there for your sisters, your stepfather isn't like your dad sometimes, most of the times. So yeah, it's very difficult most of the times.
And I believe you mentioned you got two younger sisters.
Yes.
How does it feel being the sister that they have to look up to?
It's very pressured, not gonna lie. Because they look up to me, as my mom says. I can't do certain things, I can't say certain things, and it's very pressured, you know. I feel so much pressured.
I fully relate to you. I mean, I don't have sisters, unfortunately I don't have any sisters, but because I've got three younger brothers, I know the pressure of having to be the older sibling in the house. And I want to ask you, because you've got your sisters that have to look up to you, has that ever made you feel that you have to grow up or mature quicker than you're supposed to?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
It does.
Okay. So with that, does that affect, for instance, like the relationship you've got with friends? Because sometimes you've got relationships with friends that you are maybe more mature than your age, so that maybe creates a bit of a rift between your friends, or have all your friends grown up?
Most of my friends is like 20, you know, 21. So it's not much of a problem for me, but then I feel
like you're
younger, part of the group, you know.
Okay. And because you're saying that you know your biological dad, but because you don't live with him, how does that affect your relationship that you've got with him?
It affects it really, really bad because he has a wife now currently and living with two children of us. And he works a lot, and the days he are off, he doesn't really have time to spend with the rest of his children, you know, because we are 6 children on his side. So it's very difficult for me because I tried getting in touch with him, you know, to know my father.
It's a bit difficult,
It's very difficult, yes.
So how does it make you feel that he's got another wife? Like, because obviously your parents are not together, you must say it anytime if you're feeling uncomfortable or anything, but because he's got another wife now, do you and her have a relationship, or how does that affect you as a young person? Because sometimes having one of your parents, like, you know, your mom's remarried now, and now because your dad's remarried as well and you don't have a relationship with him, how does that affect you and your relationship with him?
It affects me very much because I feel like my dad should have been present in me growing up while I was growing up. I don't have a relationship with her though, my dad's wife.
By choice or just?
No, by choice. By choice.
And
Daddy, I'm sorry if you're watching this, but I don't really think I would have a relationship with her because of the fact that my dad cheated on my mom with her.
Okay.
So I think that is one of the main reasons why I won't have a relationship with her.
Okay. And now the thing is that because the type of relationship that you're mentioning is a bit strained, you know, you have got siblings by him as well. That is obviously from her. But then do you have any relationship with him?
I have had relationships with him before they got married or back together, as I can say. But then I also have an older sibling, which I am more in touch with. The two boys that he has or that she has of him, lives with him. And then I have another sister in Darling.
Oh wow, okay.
Darling.
Yeah.
Which I don't normally talk to, and because they are still like downer than 11, they down 11 and down, younger than 11. It's difficult to keep in touch with him because I want to know who my sisters and brothers are, and it's super difficult because normally me and my dad, before the wife now, me and my dad would have gone to pick all of them up and just like go out, you know. So it's getting difficult because obviously she needs more time. It's his wife and, you know.
Okay, but now in a way, like the situation of you living, right? You are the older sibling.
Yes.
But now you mentioned you've got older siblings from your dad as well. So how does that make you feel? Because I know like with me, I always wished I had an older brother. Just like that little bit of protection, you know. So how does it feel to have a sibling that might not be living with you, but that is older than you? What does that make you feel like?
It makes me feel very comfortable, you know, because I have an older sister to look up to.
Yeah.
But then also she's very shorter than me. She's way shorter than me. So it doesn't feel like I have an older sister, you know.
Yeah.
And we do keep in touch. Like once a week we talk. Like just talk.
Yeah.
But it feels good to knowing that I have an older sister.
And your relationships with your friends, for instance, do you ever like share with them about how it is living and being the older sister, like having that setup of you having to be the older one? Have you ever shared that with your friends, or do you have those type of relationships at the school that you are, that you're saying that's private, so it's a smaller community basically? Do you have that openness to like share with them, or do you always feel like maybe you shouldn't because they might judge you?
I have 2 friends in the school that I actually talk to. The rest of the people just know me. So the 2 friends I have at school is who I open up to, who I actually trust. So it's not difficult for me to tell them how I feel and what environment I'm living in.
Okay, so I'm seeing from our interaction that you seem like a very confident person. Has that always been that way?
No, it
or how have you established being that person today?
It hasn't. It's just the more I grow up, the more I realize that I'm gonna have to be social with people and that I have to talk about this one day. So
because obviously it opens up the type of person that you are.
It does.
And then what I want to ask you is, with that, because you've got like maybe like a difficult background or whatever, does that affect you like in your relationships wise? Like, for instance, say for argument's sake you had a boyfriend or whatever, right? Does it affect the way that you are with him because you do not live with your own father?
Sometimes it does.
Okay.
But because he also don't have a father, it's much more easier to click with him.
Okay, so you've got a common ground, basically.
Yes, I do.
Okay, I see. Okay, as you guys can hear that, thank you, Jade, by the way, for sharing something that might be difficult to share, but she actually chose today that she's actually going to speak about it. Another question that I do want to ask you is, because your parents are not together, have you ever felt that you were the one that had to like take the blame or whatever? Or did you ever feel that because of that, somehow them not being together has affected you?
Yes, I have, because most of the time I feel like I shouldn't have been here. But then I also look at it as God wanted me here, and He wants me here to do something for someone else, you know. So it's not just about them splitting up, it's about how I'm gonna look at it from a different perspective and not look down on myself. Basically,
yes. And I want to ask you as well, for like the viewers that are watching, what would you give, like not necessarily advice, just a piece of a pebble basically for whoever is dealing with the fact that their parents are not like being together or whatever?
I would have to tell them pray, because that was what I did. I went through some phases, as most of people did. I would tell them to just breathe and let God.
Yeah. Being in a house of the parents not being together should probably be something that's very, very difficult. Because I think, like, us as young people, we want to experience that of our parents being together and just having that happy home. Because I think in us 21st century youth, a lot of households don't necessarily have both parents living in the house together. And I think that a lot of times parents need to realize just to like back off a bit of the pressure, because us as young people already have to deal with the fact that a parent might not be in the house, which means it creates that thing of you have to go and visit them every time, or you have to take the responsibility and try and create a relationship.
Yes.
Because sometimes it's very difficult to maintain a relationship with a parent that is not in the house. Is there anything else you would like to share with us, Jade?
No.
Okay. I think one of my final questions for you would be, because you do not live in a household of both your parents being there, what goal does it set for you as one day being a mother? Or not necessarily blaming your parents for not being together, but it's just what type of lifestyle does it create for you, or an idea of a lifestyle that's the way you want to live one day, realistically?
It actually encourages me to find the perfect partner that I know is suitable to be there as a father, but also as a husband, you know, so that we don't have children outside the relationship, and so that one weekend you have the kid and one weekend I have the kid. So I feel like it's more of an encouragement for me to start a full family without any splits or divorces.
There you have it, everybody. Jade Koopman with us today. And with her encouragement, I think it inspires us as young people to build the life that we want to have, whether we've got a full family or not. We've got a blended family, like you say. And I think that just creates different opportunities for you, because you push yourself more to create the lifestyle that you want. Stay tuned for many more deep conversations, and we hope to see you once again. Thank you, Jade.
You're welcome.
Thank you, everybody. 21st Century Youth.